would wipe away my tears, so sincere. Turn gray skies to blue. You won't ever change your ways, doing what you do. Wipe away my tears, so sincere. Turn gray skies to blue. You won't ever change your ways, doing what you do.
go.
Invincible. You would wipe away my tears, so sincere. Turn gray skies to blue. You won't ever change your ways, doing what you do. Well, you can keep on talking, would wipe away my tears, so sincere. Turn gray skies to blue. You won't ever change your ways, doing what you do.
Here we go.